What's going on, Sloppy Nation? Welcome back to another NASCAR 21 Ignition Paint Booth class. Thank you so much for all the support with the revamp of the series. It's something I have been loving to do on stream for you guys. Only this time around, I am going to do a video only side of the paint booth classes. We have made some awesome schemes like Dale Jr.'s Final Ride, Matt Kenseth's 2000 DeWalt Ford, and I've had some comments asking me to maybe throw it back a little bit more to the golden days of NASCAR, as some would say. So I went ahead and took that challenge. Only this time, I am making this as easy of a paint scheme that you guys can possibly make. And what better way to do it than with Davey Allison? That's right, the Davey Allison, the Havoline car, famously made from the late 80s to the 1990s until his untimely death. This car is so iconic, and I found an easy way to make this car for you guys so you guys can go rep Davey Allison on the track on Ignition. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, y'all, so right off the bat, we need to go to the manufacturer for this scheme. So let's go to your manufacturer and drive a Ford for Davey Allison. I feel like the Ford really will make this scheme stand out a lot more. Ford is the way to go. Now we go on to the paint color here. The Havoline scheme is famously known to be black, so we're gonna go with a nice black body for paint, that is. The side skirt here is a very key part of this scheme. Okay, so for this side skirt, we are gonna go with yellow. Now we gotta choose the right yellow here because the yellow isn't too bright. It's got a little bit of a touch of dark in the yellow here. So the perfect yellow, in my opinion, here is if we go from all the way from the left on columns, right? So we're gonna go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're gonna go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6 is going to be your side skirt color for this car. Easy stuff right here. The spoiler is going to be black for this scheme. When you go to the roof rails, it looks as though those were black as well. So roof rails are going to be black. Wheels are going to be black as well. And the wheel color here, you can kind of go back and forth with this one if you want. I personally am going to go with yellow. I just think it's going to make the wheels stand out a lot more rather than black all the way. So there's all the paint colors you need for this scheme. Now, paint gloss. Usually I put a lot of gloss on my schemes, but since this was way back in the day, there really wasn't any gloss to these schemes, right? It really had a matte look. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of gloss, maybe like 15%, but I wanna make sure this car has as much of a matte look as it possibly can. Now, moving on to the number. I already kind of gave you guys a little bit of a tip here for the number. That's the kind of style of number you want. So let's go to our number here and go to number 28. All right, so already off the bat, we're seeing this scheme is really close already to resembling Davey Allison. So go into the style here. You can tell I'm just gonna give you a little bit of an example of what style it is. It's gonna be this big, fat, bulgy one, okay? Now go into your color. For the number color, we're gonna go with red from your first column over. So we're gonna go one column over to the second column, okay? Then we're gonna go down that first cherry red you see right there. So go to cherry red. Your outline color is also going to be red as well, along with the shadow color. Now for personalizing this number, we really don't have to do any slanting. Shadow direction, you want to go ahead and put this thing at 0 all the way on both sides. That way it's even all the way through. As you can see right there, I actually messed up a little bit right there. So there we go. And your outline thickness, okay? So this is something I was playing around with for a little bit, okay? So if you look at Davey Allison's number, right, there isn't too much of space in the middle, right? We don't really see a lot of black peeking through the number, okay? So when I originally went to 0 on the thickness, I'm like, yeah, that's the right number font, but that number is a lot. It's fat. It's a fat number, right? So we're gonna go all the way up to about maybe an 11. I like an 11 here. If you go way too much, it takes way too much of that number up. It kind of, you know, takes the black away. So I would even play around and maybe go with like let's go with like a 13 here, a 13 for that number thickness. All right, now we're not done with this number yet, guys. So we're gonna go to the decals here. And what we're going to do on the left side with this number, we need to make the inside just a little bit thinner, just a little bit more. So the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna take this little, kind of like a half triangle sort of, and we're gonna take it and we're gonna spin it. We're gonna decrease the size here. We're gonna put it kind of like right here, spin it just a little bit. We're gonna expand it enough to where it's kind of peeking through. you're just gonna kind of copy that decal and paste it. You're just gonna just spin it. You're just gonna spin it around. And you're gonna do this for the other part of the 8 as well. All right, so there is your Davey Allison number 28 to the best of my ability with the paint booth and whatnot. For the most part, it looks pretty much dead on like the number. If I was able to find a number font that could have made the number a little bit wider from left to right, I would have done that, but that would have been just insanely, just an insane long process to get that 28 the way I wanted it to be. So that's okay. The 28 looks just as good, just like this. So while we're on the left side of the car and whatnot, let's go ahead and add some decals, because as we all know, these cars back in the day had loads of sponsors on the side. So do any sponsor you want. I'm just gonna kind of pick some random ones here, and I'll speed through this part of the video, and let me know how your contingencies look, but just add whatever you want to kind of fill up the sides here. All right, well, now we got the contingencies all planned out for the most part. Hopefully you got some cool logos on your car. We're gonna go ahead and get to the fun part of this paint scheme, making the Havoline logo and text. This is gonna be good. All right, so just to make things way easier here, what the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and make the Havoline logo. Now, obviously, the first thing you want to do, and probably the obvious thing you want to do, is take a big white circle. You're gonna kind of match it, kind of like where that air duct is right there. You're gonna change the color to that bright cherry red that we did with that number earlier, okay? And this circle takes up nearly the entire hood here. But right there should be pretty good. Takes up most of the hood right there. Should be fairly good. And if not, later we can always just make it bigger, right? That's always a good thing we can do here. All right, now we got the circle part taken care of. Now it's time to make the star. Now the star actually might be like the hardest part of this, but it really isn't as hard as some people may think it is. The main thing you're gonna do here is you're gonna go to this nice triangle here on the third column. All right, I feel like a fucking idiot. Clearly, when I went back to look at the recording of this video and edit, I did not realize that there is literally a star right there. Instead, I used 5 triangles to make this star. So please do better, be better, and don't be like me, and go use a star and skip this part of the video. If you don't want to, you are a true gentleman and a scholar. Now, let's get back to the video. So where you just kind of have to play with it a little bit here, though, because it may take you a minute to kind of get this right, even for me. So just kind of play along with it and just kind of make the shape of a star here. All right, now that we're done with the star here, and you can kind of play around with it as much as you want, we're gonna go ahead and make your nice T right here. Very easy stuff to do right here. You're gonna go ahead and just make it your nice cherry red. You're gonna take the red square and shrink it into a rectangle. It's gonna connect right here. You wanna make sure it's connected nice and well. You're gonna expand it till about, I'd say, a little over halfway into that star. Make it nice and big and obvious that it's a letter T, which is probably going to take about, it takes a little bit more up space than I imagined, but about right there. And then you're going to go ahead and just copy that decal again, and you're going to turn it. And this time you're going to make the T a little bit smaller from top to bottom. You're going to expand it. It's kind of going near the middle of the star, actually. It's like in the middle here. So we're going to do this. A little bit more bulgy right there. Then we're going to take this part of the square and expand it a little bit more. And for the most part, there's your Havoline logo with the T and the star right there. I mean, not bad. I could probably make it a little bit better, but it's still pretty solid from what I'm seeing. All right, now to make things a lot easier for you guys, I would just go ahead and check mark all these logos for the hood. You're going to go ahead and just copy that group. You're going to go to the left side here, and if you look at the paint scheme, right, when we're looking at this paint scheme, we notice the Havoline is going to be near where the gas goes in. So when you go to your left side, you go to your new decal. Actually, if I can just copy the group, or paste it, that is, right here, we're going to move this group over here, and we're going to lower it till about right, I'd say about right here. About right there should be pretty good. I think right there is a good indication. And just by looking at the logo, I mean, you can tell I could probably make that T a little bit bigger to kind of take more of that to take kind of that little bit of that star space out of there. But that's an easy fix. That won't take any time whatsoever. So yeah, just kind of play around with it and find the best spot for it. You don't want to put it too close to the gas tank, especially with these new cars, because it takes away from that logo. So I think about right here should be a really good spot for it, and just play around with it and see what you guys like. All right, guys, so now it's time to make your Havoline text. So I'm not going to talk too much throughout this part. All you got to do is follow the video along. I'm not going to make it super quick or anything. That way you can kind of see it. Basically, the way this Havoline is going to be spelled, it's a lot of easy shapes. The only letters I'm looking at here that might take me an extra second to make is probably the A and maybe the N, and that's probably it. Everything else is fairly simple. So let's go ahead and finish up this car and make this text. All right, guys, so there's your Havoline text. I mean, my first time doing it. Obviously, not everything's gonna be perfect the first time around. I can already see a spot or two where maybe I can go back and kind of fine tune it a little bit. So what you're gonna do here now that we have it done, you're gonna go ahead and check mark every single logo of your Havoline text. Pretty easy to find. Just find the first yellow square after the red one. You're gonna go ahead and, well, first and foremost, what you can do is hit X. Now, once you do that, now expand it. Yeah, look how nice that thing looks now. Look at that beautiful thing. That actually looks really good. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out right here. So there you go. And then what you're gonna do here is you're gonna go ahead and copy that group as well. You're gonna go to the right side of the car. You're gonna go ahead and paste it. You're gonna move it over here to where this Havoline is. You're gonna put it about right here. And last but not least, guys, on the decals here, and I didn't forget about this. I kind of like to make it the final touch or so. When you go to the left side, you want to add a red square. Okay, what we're gonna do here, it's gonna blend right there. We're gonna expand that thing all the way. We're gonna give it a little bit of a spin, and it's just gonna line up right there perfectly to make that red stand out on the bottom of the car. Same goes for the front bumper now. All you gotta do is add a yellow square here. That same color we had before. Gotta make sure it's blending in nicely here. It's gonna take up the whole side here. And then just go ahead and copy that decal again, paste it, and this time just make it that red. Bring it on down till about right there. Yeah, there you go. I think that's it. And guys, here it is, our number 28 Davey Allison Havoline Ford. What an absolute beauty this car has turned out to be. I'll be honest, I was a little skeptical with the number, but honestly, the way the Havoline came out and the logo, it just looks awesome. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys made the scheme just as close as I did. I wanted to make this one as easy as possible. I know the Havoline text and all was probably the hardest part of this car, but I think this is a scheme that anybody can go and make any day, and I'm glad I made this video for y'all, and I certainly hope you're ready for more awesome paint schemes down the road. All right, guys, well, that about wraps it. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Paint Booth Classes on NASCAR 21 Ignition. Please make sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and maybe, just maybe, hit that join button, become a member of the Slop Squad today for some awesome perks. Guys, thank you so much, and let me know in the comments below, what paint scheme do you want me to make next? I'll see you all next time. Stay sloppy, and have fun racing the number 28 car. See you later.